So, as comedians, I'm sure you've been able to see this far, but we think of things differently. We look at life, and I swear we're looking at a different life than the rest of you. And sometimes when I think of that, I just wonder to myself, like, man, why did God make someone as weird as me? But then I think of the platypus and I become really grateful. So our next comedian, he's great. I think that's all I want to say about him. Because he'll talk about himself a lot in his bit, and I don't want to ruin anything. But the next comedian is Justin.
I talked about myself that much. Anyway, I'm going to introduce myself, just like everybody else. Not really. Anyway, my name is Justin. I also just lost 50 pounds. I'm glad that joke is still out there. But I have been trying to be eating healthy a little bit, you know. I've been adapting the saying that the more colorful your plate is, the more healthier it is. So I've decided to start eating Skittles with every meal. But I've even gotten a little more adventurous than that, and I've started eating boxes of crayons. Full of fiber. But it's really not as easy as you think. Like, I end up going to the store to get healthy foods like fruits and vegetables, and I come back with donuts. But it's okay. No. So I come back with donuts, but it's okay because they're jelly filled. Jelly's a fruit, right? But I've come to the conclusion that there's no correct way to ask for donuts from somebody else. Like if you see somebody in the MC with donuts, and they ask you, you can do one of two things. You can either deny them politely, or act like Gollum and hide them from the fires of Mordor as if it were the One Ring. But anyway, I've come to the conclusion that you really know when you love somebody if you can share a donut with them. The reason I came to this conclusion is because I sat there for 5 minutes trying to figure out if I wanted to share the donut with my wife or not. I mean, seriously, this is the person I'm supposed to be spending eternity with, and I can't give her a donut. And so I was sitting there, I was like, look at this glorious piece of pastry. And then I saw my ring, and I was like, oh, dang it. But I ended up eating it because I love myself.
Jerk.
Oh gosh. But I love myself, and my justification of it was that I'm making her go on a diet. She's
in the audience, don't
worry. She'll talk to me after, don't worry. Anyway, in the quest for being healthy, I've started to eat more greens. I've tried kale. Anybody else tried kale?
Yeah!
You guys are masochists. There's really no acceptable way to eat kale.
Amen.
Thank you. I'm glad somebody agrees with me. Like, even if you drench it in oil, fry it, put all sorts of herbs, and then dip it in ranch, it's still disgusting. What is wrong with this cord? But I have been trying to eat more greens, so I've started to eat, M&Ms, but only the green ones. I'll eat some mint ice cream, sour cream and onion Pringles, Mountain Dew, and if I'm really hungry, I'll have some green eggs and ham. No, not like the food, the book. But anyway, I have been trying to eat more vegetables, and it's been working out somewhat. I've realized that the only way I can incorporate any vegetable into my life is through a smoothie. So normally the ingredients go as follows, it's milk, yogurt, kale, Snickers, donuts, Kit Kats, any other fruit and junk food. And then I top it off with whipped cream. But doctors tell me that I need to start eating like more healthy foods, like whole wheat and eggs, and I thought it was going to be really hard. But then I remembered that those are in the ingredients for pizza. So I think I've got that down. Like, that's a balanced meal. You've got wheat flour, or whole wheat flour and eggs in the dough, and then you've got a fruit sauce, tomato, and then you put cheese on it. That's got some more milk in it, so that's healthy. And then you got pineapple or whatever, and then you've got like all of the fattening stuff that you put on there as a self-respecting American. Anyway, half the battle of being healthy is not only healthy eating, but there's exercise. And I try to go to the gym, but I don't like it because I'm gonna fix this for everybody. Woo! It'll make it worse. Whatever. Anyway, so I try to go to the gym, and there's always two kinds of people at the gym. There's the people who are trying to get into shape that isn't round, or circular, because that's a shape. And then there's the Captain America type, who's just always running and running and running and passing everybody on track, saying like on your left to everybody that he goes by. The sad thing is I saw that guy on the treadmill next to me, and he kept saying on my left, like on your left, as he was trying to pass me on a treadmill. Like, you're a jerk. But anyway, I've realized that there are a lot of double standards, like substitutes. We as Mormons have a ton of substitutes. We have replacement words for those times that you're just flippin' darn tootin' angry. What are some of the other replacement words that you guys have heard? Freak, fetch. Frick. Oh, this is the worst Mormon crowd I've had. But there's all those words, and we have replacements for other things as well. Like, our replacements extend to holier spears. So there's substitutes for the word of wisdom. Like, most people drink coffee. We've got the coffee substitute. Tastes just like coffee, except without the sin. Then there's like, most people, when they get angry or they get mad after their hard day, they go home, drink alcohol, or they go to the bar and have a beer. We come home and we get like a glass of Coca-Cola or chocolate milk. And then there's okay, so I'm blind.
Is it because of that
Anyway,
how blind are you?
Stop making fun of me, that's my job. Anyway, so we've even got like substitute words for the awkward situations in our life. And anybody who's been in a religion class and talked about the subject knows what we're talking about. And it's that nobody in this room can say sex. Like, are there any bishops present? Okay, good, just making sure. I can say it now. But as a culture, we don't say that word. We have to replace it with it. Like, yeah, they did it. Or even if we get if we don't whisper it, our bishop is gonna just come running through the room and give us a bad grade or something. Dang it, I forgot again. But we whisper it because it's like the act that shall not be named. We can't say it. Because if we say it, it's like we're just bad at life. Anyway, another replacement that we have is like the world, they do these things called one-night stands. Mormons, we do NICMOs. Like, think about it. One-night stand, you go and you do it. And then NICMOs is you go and do kissing with people, if you're good. But anyway, on the the subject of double standards, I went to Battle of the Dance a while back, and it was pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. The only thing wrong with it is that, you know, you've got the person up there who's skinny and he's throwing his arms around and just wailing and just spinning, and, you know, and they call it breakdancing. But when I do that, it's called having a temper tantrum. But there's a ton of double standards in our lives. Like, we have, for those of you who are single will know this phrase, when are you gonna get in a relationship? Those who are in a relationship know the phrase, when are you gonna get married? When you're married, you get asked, oh, when are you gonna have kids? And then when you have kids, the question they ask is, oh, when are you gonna stop? Who's your favorite? And who are you putting up for adoption? Not really. But it's gotten so bad that I can't even like go to the restaurant with my wife and sit down without someone criticizing her for eating for two. Like, how is one steak smothered in onions, mushrooms with shrimp on the side, a side of fries, a salad, a cactus blossom, and 4 dinner rolls eating for 2? I mean, that's just a meal after fast. It's not really that big. But she can't even go anywhere like and say that she feels sick because people assume that she's pregnant. And I think it's funny because she's not. But people think she is, and it's like they're trying to put babies in my wife without my permission. Anyway, I've come to the conclusion that I'm not ready to have kids, as you can all tell. But when I do have kids, my kids aren't going to get those stuffed animals that are cute and fluffy. You know, they've got like giraffes and elephants and whatnot. No, my kids are going to get giant stuffed microbes. And the reason why I like that is because I can think of at least 10 situations where it can be taken as something different. And just imagine like your friends coming over to play a game or whatever, and they see your kids playing in the corner, but they don't know what the stuffed animal is, so they ask, oh, what are they playing with? Oh, my kids just got Ebola. He had chicken pox the other week, but we must have given it to somebody else. Anyway, another double standard that we have that I really don't like is that we can now rent puppies. Like, think about that for a second. We are allowing canine concubines. Because you can get the puppy and it'll make you happy for like 3 hours and then you have to turn it back in. That's really just what a concubine is. But it's sad because those dogs, you know, they have to support a family too. They're trying to get their kids through med school. But that's all I got. Thanks, guys.